been in da'wah, you've been Christian, you've been giving da'wah to Muslims and Muslims, for example. What should we do? And they have tons of experience. They can save you a lot of time, a lot of hustle. You can go to Sheikh Umar, for those of you who live close to Sheikh Umar, Sheikh Shibli. You go to the ulama, this dua, and you tell them, we want to do this, what is the best way of approaching? If you do these three things, inshallah, and bi'idhnillahi subhanahu wa ta'ala, the da'wah will succeed. Now, so let us have the one that you have for now, and then we will, inshallah, take care of the rest.
Is it haram to kiss a man while fasting?
Well, let's clarify this. Now, for those of you, the question, is it allowed to kiss a man while you're fasting? Which man are we talking about? If we're talking about a guy who's just walking the street, it's haram. If you're talking, even when you're not fasting, if you're talking about your father kissing on the cheek, it's halal. Your son is halal. If you're talking about your husband, which the one that you're talking about, I think the question is referring to, then the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Hadith Aisha radiallahu anha, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to kiss his wife, and they used to kiss him during their fasting, or during the month of Ramadan. But she said, كَانَ أَمْلَكُمْ لِإِرْبِهِ. The man, he had control of himself, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So the ulama radiallahu anhum, they said, if a man has control over himself, then it's permissible. If the man does not have that, then it's not permissible. And that goes for women as well.
And the question is it allowed, or is it okay to work in an institution which borrows money from an Islamic bank? They end up paying interest. Is it allowed to work in such a kind of institution?
If the institution, let us say you work for, whatever company, the company itself is selling or doing, or they engage in halal things, manufacturing doors, windows, cars, water, whatever, and you're not doing anything haram, then that is fine, regardless how they got their money, whether they borrowed the money from financial institution, or they stole the money from a bank, or we don't care. As long as the work that you're doing is halal, then it's fine. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to deal with Yahud, and the Yahud used to deal with riba. And he never cared about how they gain their money, but he cared about what deals that goes between the two parties. So you don't have to worry about how they gain their money, but what you should worry about the work that you're doing at that moment. Is it halal or haram? If the work is halal, then yes.
This question is, what's your advice on a lady who wants to pursue a career which is dominated by men, like engineering? What's your advice on that?
My advice is, nothing in Sharia saying that it's haram. We all agree, education in Islam is, mashallah, highly encouraged. The first ayah that was revealed in the Quran was Iqra. Now, if you're going to work, like you're going to become, for example, interior designer, or you're going to design a work where the environment is awesome and healthy, and it is only you or the women is permissible. But and I'm not talking about only engineering, but in all careers, if there's too much ikhtilat, men and women, mixing, that is Islam, that is not right. That is definitely not right. And whether you are there by yourself or you have other women with you, there's too many mixing, Islamically is not right. Now,
if a man comes to marry you and your parents refuse despite having deen and akhlaq, what steps should you take?
If the parents were here, would have said something else. But I can see that majority of you are young people. I would say in this situation, if you can convince your parents to allow you to marry that man, is the best. And that is the sunnah. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam في السنة الترمذي وحديث صحيح الألباني وغيره قال إذا أتاكم من ترضون دينه وخلقه فزوجوه. If a man comes to you and you start with his deen and his manner, then let them marry your daughters. But if that is not the case and the father says, for whatever reason, I don't want you to marry this man because, for whatever reason, then the best thing to do for you is to obey your parents. Again, if your parents were here, I would have said something else. But I'm talking to you, why? Because the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, even though you're not doing something haram, but the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, رَغْمَ أَنْفَ الْمْرِينَ أَدْرَكَ أَبَوَاهُ وَلَمْ يُدْخِلَ الْجَنَّةِ. He said, indeed, she's a loser, a person who met his parents, and they were not the reason for that individual into paradise. And another hadith, the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, رِضَى الرَّبِّ مِنْ رِضَى الْوَالِدَيْنِ وَسَخَطُ الرَّبِّ مِنْ سَخَطِ الْوَالِدَيْنِ. He said, pleasing Allah is through pleasing your parents, and the wrath of Allah is through the wrath of your parents. So you don't want to displease your parents in any way. However, try, unless the parent, the father, he's not being reasonable. For example, anyone who comes, has deen, is akhlaq, you like the way he looks, mashallah, and then he says, how much money do you have? This young man. And the young man, he says, I have nothing. Then every man who comes, he posts conditions like this until you reach 33 years old. And then you know, you're going to miss your... In this case, it's permissible for you to take the case to the imam of the masjid and say, my parents or my father not being just, I'm ready for marriage. The second reason that is, if you are afraid that you will fall into a ma'siyah, you will fall into haram, then it becomes wajib for you to take it to the imam of the masjid, and then the imam will deal with the situation. Now,
another question from the ladies. She's asking, most ladies are coming up with religious groups, which is for da'wah and everything like that. But however, the brothers on the brother sides, they are like lacking behind, and they need the support and help for the brothers. So what do you think the sisters should do, because they still need their help in organizing seminars and lectures and everything like that?
Number one, sisters. I wasn't really, sugarcoating. And I wasn't bluffing when I said Allah gave you the ban of da'wah. For us, our boys in North America, long time ago, we pray Salat al-Janazah on them. They all dead. They useless. Literally, we pray Salat al-Janazah without wudu. We say Allahu Akbar, they all dead. The da'wah is carried by women. If the case is here, it's a similar situation here, you may as well pray Salat al-Janazah on them. But, what I would say, I'm saying if you have a Sheikh Yusuf, you have a lot of shuyukh and da'is who are there, then you can always come and they're willing to help. He's been on my case since I got here. Want you to come and address the sisters, I want you to come to this room. And that shows his concern. So you should come to him and people like him, and there are many of them. unless sisters are looking for those handsome men there, mashallah. I said, well, this is a good dad. We want him. We want him. We should be part of the da'wah committee. That's a different case. That's hidden agenda. That's called the Iblis agenda. That's not the da'wah agenda. But I guarantee there are a lot of new Muslims, a lot of old Muslims out there. But young people, I would say, you got to do something about this. Unfortunately, it's not only here, but it's in North America, in Europe, everything. Everywhere I go, the sisters, mashallah, if they're needing da'wah and the brothers are lagging behind, they can't even organize halaqah, let alone conference or seminars. Now,
the same question, on the same topic, but this time she's saying that some members of the group of the da'wah group, they are not that active. They are not participating in organizing events successfully. And it remains to some two members, either the chair lady or the secretary, to do all the work. And they sometimes get so stretched. So what is your advice to them?
My advice to those sisters is, number one, keep recruiting. You should have PR committee. You should have, of course you have committee, da'wah committee. Da'wah committee doesn't mean just da'wah committee. Da'wah committee should have finance committee, you have PR committee, you have volunteers committee, you have people who are doing different work. And you keep recruiting every day. And then the idea of taking responsibility on yourself all the time is not healthy and it's not good. And then also you must understand, you must ask yourself, why are people not coming forward? Why they will come and they get excited and they will leave? What are we doing wrong there? Something is not settled. So what you need to do, maybe they need to feel sense of ownership. Maybe they want to feel, it's not just Amira who's giving orders. Maybe, I'm out of the loop and I have no responsibility. Or I think you should somehow restructure everything and give the responsibility to the sisters in a more vivid, direct way, and then they will carry on. While the other group still recruiting new members. Do not only keep it 5 or 6 sisters, by the way. They have, it's very normal. They have little circles, cliques, little ring. So, Mom, and you do, don't tell me. That's a lie if you say no. You do, and what they do, they have that little circle, and no one else can penetrate that little circle. It's only them. And subhanAllah, they have little pockets here, little pockets here, little pockets here. And the masakin boys, they come, and what they do, they propose to one of these girls here. And then she says, and then he tried to play smart, and he proposed to another girl in the same circle. And the sister's like, he's out of the window. He's done. They don't know they should go to different circles. That would be a lot smarter. But a lot of sisters in da'wah, they just close the gate and they don't allow anyone else. And a lot of sisters in my community, they say we go, we want to help, but we feel that we're being excluded. We have a good meeting and they get together here. Excuse us, sisters, we have a meeting. No, that is wrong. Welcome everybody, open the doors, let them come. Even if they're not part of the committee, let them sit. And inshallah, I'm sure you're doing that, but this is a reminder to keep in us kind of time.
There's also a question from the sisters. She's saying sometimes they don't hear adhan, sometimes they hear adhan. And then if the time of prayers comes and then she starts praying, and then by mistake she hears the adhan again, she's supposed to break that prayer and wait till the adhan is over, or she's supposed to continue with that?
If the adhan is connected to the time comes in 1:05, then the mu'adhin will call the adhan 1:05. That's one thing. And in this case, yes. So that is an indication the time is in. But like in North America, we don't go by the time that the salah comes in. We just call the adhan 10 minutes before the iqamah. That's it. If the salah comes at 1:05 and the iqamah is 1:45, we're going to call the adhan 1:35. So we're not connected to the time that the salah comes in. So in Kenya, if you're connected to the time, if you hear the adhan and you're already in the third rak'ah, then you got to go back and start the salah from the beginning. If you already prayed, you got to
insulting Arabs is haram. Is there any hadith?
The question would be, I would ask,